Hello and welcome to Your New Jersey. I'm Marie Falbo. Today, we will talk to the president of the Screen Alliance of New Jersey about the future of Garden State's media and entertainment industries. But first, we have Dr. Keith Strudler, Dean of Montclair State University's College of Communication and Media, to talk about Montclair's exciting new chapter with NJPBS. Keith, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
As a proud graduate of Montclair State University 20 years ago.
No,
I know.
it's not possible.
I know. I don't know how it's possible either. My birth certificate must have been a lie.
Well, it's great you graduated at 12.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
True. I am so excited that you were awarded this.
Well, thank you so much. Part of what has made Montclair such a great place and such a growing enterprise is the foundation of people who've kind of believed in the educational mission and institution that it is. And so I think, folks like you really have kind of laid the groundwork for what we're capable of doing. And I think a world-class media school here in the state of New Jersey that gives its residents kind of what they deserve and the educational opportunities, this opportunity not only kind of affirms that idea that New Jersey deserves to have an educational hub like this, but also I think really is a tribute and hopefully a source of pride to all the folks like you who have gone to Montclair and can kind of look at Montclair with, I think, hopefully the pride that you already had, but kind of knowing like that's my home. And so we're really excited for everyone.
Hey, it's been a long time since the trailer. You know all about that. You could ask Patty Hero about the trailer.
Yeah.
I mean, their offices were literally in a trailer next to the studio, which when I went there, 2004, 5, 6, I thought where I was. I thought I was basically in Hollywood. I never saw anything like that. Now when I go back to campus, you blow everyone out of the water, and this just affirms that.
Yeah, it's funny. They refer to, you remember the marketing, it was a Hollywood East, right? And so, but what's interesting, a couple things that are interesting, we actually have a Hollywood program. So we actually have students that are out in LA every semester, which is great. I think we have a huge film and TV program. We've got a great film and TV industry here. And being able to expand upon the mission of NJPBS and public media really fits very well with the growth of the larger media enterprise here in the state of New Jersey. So I think it's kind of a wonderful synergistic moment where I think we're expanding the kinds of both work that happens in media in the state, but also the information that's going to become public. And one of the things that's was a part of our bid and part of our vision. This is a professional news organization, and we're going to be bringing on a team of professional journalists, fundraisers, managers, and so forth that will be running a professional network. But there's a teaching hospital aspect of this. So there's a workforce development part of this. And so it is not a student network, but as you know, our job is to help train the next generation of media professionals. You have been so gracious to hire many of them, right? And so we see this as an incredible opportunity for the state to be able to leverage public media to bring our student population in as interns, in co-op programs, not just at Montclair, but across the state to help develop really a first-class, world-class set of working professionals.
You're getting an institution at NJPBS that has served the public for decades. Kind of limping in to your facilities though, and it's up to you and everyone at Montclair and the new staff to bring it to life and bring it to the 21st century. How are you going to do that?
So I think, this sounds cliche, the first thing we plan on doing is listening. So I think one of the things that we realize, and we're really lucky at Montclair that we're also the home for the Center for Cooperative Media, probably the best in the country at understanding how to kind of grow and lead community-based news organizations, right? And to understand the importance of civics and media and so forth, and how you find funding and how you really reach publics in ways that they want to be reached and give them the information they need. So part of what we're doing and part of what we did throughout this bid process was listen to communities. So I think the way to fail would to say, here's the plan. We've got our one big broadcast. This is how it's always been done. This is how they're going to consume it, and that's the end of it. Much like as you've kind of evolved and built a media platform, understanding that the world changes and people want to get information differently, that's what we have to do. And so we're going to spend a lot of time talking to communities. We've built, there are over 300 organizations across the state that do amazing news and media and entertainment. We want to leverage those storytellers across the state. We've built partnerships now with well over 10 universities across the state that want to be involved in creating content and storytelling. We have an incredibly unique partnership with New Jersey Athletic Conference.
I love that. I saw that in the release.
Right?
I was so happy to see that.
And these are just examples, but the idea really is, kind of twofold. One is we have to listen to communities, and second, we have to build partnerships. And that's going to be, I think, a unique characteristic. Third, and this, again, it sounds cliche, but we understand well, because it's part of the DNA of what you do when you're at a university that tries to teach at the forefront of the discipline, that the way people consume information is very different now than it was 5 years ago, and 2 years from now it's going to be different. Sometimes we become short-sighted in saying we know how this is going to be done. So we're going to be very, very deliberate in social, the ability to broadcast on the app, on Passport. We're going to be leveraging social media storytelling, and I think those different ways in which we can reach people are going to be really, really important in ensuring that the future of New Jersey PBS is reflective of kind of the present and future of media consumption.
I think the thing I most appreciate in everything you've said so far as a content creator is that you're making NJPBS so accessible to those people that maybe wouldn't have gotten that opportunity before. And I think part of the reason is because you're recognizing all the different ways everyone consumes, like you said, but you're also tripling the amount of New Jersey programming that currently exists. Is that true?
Yeah, and we're trying to figure out how many hours we're going to be able to do on day one versus year one. So yes, there's going to be a significant increase in the amount of original New Jersey-centric programming, and particularly if you consider the amount that we're going to be running on digital platforms and on social platforms. But kind of our internal creed as we went through this was we're going to turn public media into the public's media. And that's really been kind of our driving principle. And so if you want to talk about something that's important to folks that live in the state, talk about youth sports. Like talk about, oh my God, I mean, this is the DNA of people's childhood and parenting and so forth. And I think those are the kind of things that are going to happen now throughout the course of the next several months, which is what are the stories that are not being told, and what are the ways in which we can give people a platform and information that they deserve. We're not going to assume that either A, public media is guaranteed to exist in perpetuity just because it does. Like that inertia doesn't inherently mean that it's going to last forever. So we have to kind of earn that trust. And secondly, and that means we have to be valuable to foundations and to members and to folks that we can fundraise with. And second, we have to be something for everyone. And so we're not going to assume because we're channel whatever we are on the dial that we get viewership. We are going to assume that we have to earn people's trust and people's attention, and that's going to be a very deliberate process.
The channel kicks off October 1st?
So it's happening fast. So the contract is July 1, but by October 1, we plan to be fully operational. We have, production-ready facilities. We have world-class engineering staff. We have folks that kind of understand programming. We have former producers. We have storytellers. So we're able to hit the ground running in a way that I think is pretty unique.
It totally is. So no summer break for you?
No, I don't get summers. I think maybe I'll get a night away in the Finger Lakes or something like that.
But you don't even want that right now, because this is what you and the university have wanted forever. Since 20 years ago, since I was a student, you wanted this.
Yeah. This was the vision. This was always kind of what the vision was what could a world-class college of communication and media do? And I think there was always the thought that there needed to be a partnership that kind of leveraged educational and kind of the facilities with what's happening in the professional and public media world. So we're kind of just stewards of that mission in a fun way.
Well, even though Montclair State University has exploded over the years, it still is the best kept secret. But I think now the secret's out.
The secret might be out, which is great. And we look, it's easy to sell something when you have a great product. So we're incredibly proud of, at our core, what we really are, which is a place that teaches. public media is public education, and so it really is a mission-based kind of thing. We increasingly hope, as our students win more student Emmys and we finish high in Bateman PR competitions, we increasingly believe that other folks aren't surprised anymore, which we're really proud of.
Exactly. And one of them is in the back controlling the whole show right now, Izzy Conklin. And we also have Elena Plumser, another proud Montclair State University graduate, who's been editing Your New Jersey since the beginning and also works at MS Now. We've had a really good mix of Montclair State alumni come through these doors over the years, and it's something that I'm so proud of. And who knows, it'll grow even bigger and bigger. Are you giving first preference to alumni when you do your hiring process? Are you looking in-house first?
So no, so it's a full open process.
Okay.
And so what our goal is to look. We know that there's a lot of wonderful alumni and we obviously encourage them to apply. But this is a full, open, transparent process, and our goal is to attract the widest swath of folks that are interested in kind of being involved in a mission-based public media environment. We want folks who are kind of dedicated to what it can be, who want to look towards a progressive future mission for what public media is, are not kind of, holding on to what it may have been, and are excited about like the responsibilities that we have. So we believe Montclair State is a wonderful place to work. New Jersey Public Television is a kind of generational opportunity. I promise you, no jobs have been given away. This is fully open and transparent. We really are encouraging everyone to apply.
Where can people find out more as we march towards October 1st?
Well, on your show, of course.
Yeah, well.
So as we move forward, I'm sure we'll be, circulating more and more information. You can obviously go to our website. We'll be building out the New Jersey PBS website, and that obviously will sooner than later be the repository for where we're kind of disseminating all the information. There'll be all sorts of great content and so forth. We're doing as much work as we can in kind of doing a lot of outreach and meeting with interested folks, community-based media organizations. So we're doing all of that work, but we're really excited to get our team in place, particularly our leadership team, because we really want this to be a very kind of collaborative process in kind of thinking about the mission.
Exciting times ahead for sure. Where can people find you and keep up with all the latest?
So, obviously go to montclair.edu, go to the website, visit the College of Communication and Media website. But if you really want to be like right on the cutting edge, go to our socials. So follow the CCOM, College of Communication and Media, Instagram and TikTok, and that's where you'll get a ton of information.
Keith, thank you so much. Congratulations. I know you and Stephanie worked your tails off on that RFP to get this, and Patty Perot, President Capel, just everyone at Montclair State. You all deserve this so much, and I can't wait.
Well, thank you so much.
Joining us now is Nick Day, co-CEO and president of Edge Auto Rental and president of the Screen Alliance of New Jersey. Through both roles, Nick has had a front row seat to the economic impact filmmaking is having on the state. Nick, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
We have to shout out our dear mutual friend, Fred Castrovinci,
Yes.
who brought us together when you two filmed out of here for his show.
Yes.
And we hit it off, and it was right on the heels of your big expo, and I'm just so happy to finally dive into all of Hollywood East with you.
Sure. Fred's a great guy, and I really appreciate the fact that he included me in his podcast. And the show was fantastic. I know we'll get more into that, but I can't wait to talk about it. It was a big success.
We love to hear that. As I mentioned, we're going to be talking about Hollywood East. I mean, this is where it's at, New Jersey.
Yes.
We have Netflix, Lionsgate, Paramount. All of these entities coming in. There's filmings happening on every street corner at this point. First of all, how did that happen here?
Filming really started here
in
New Jersey a long time ago when Thomas Edison began the first film session here. Went to Hollywood for a while, and now it's definitely come back in a big way. And there's a lot of drivers bringing it back to New Jersey. I think you can't really have the conversation without starting with the New Jersey Film and Digital Tax Credit. That's really the main motivator to bring all the productions to the state. But when people use that as kind of that's the initial reason for thinking about New Jersey. But once they realize everything else New Jersey has to offer, that really locks them in and brings people back. And that's why you've seen such an explosion. The talent that's here, the beautiful elements of the state that people don't really realize unless you're from New Jersey, like we are that have lived here. So you could be on the beach for a shoot. We got a lot of Miami shoots happen in New Jersey.
Wow.
On the Jersey Shore that kind of takes the place of Miami Beach. That happens a lot. And you could be in the mountains. You could be in a ski resort. You could be at a beautiful lake. You can be at a beautiful park. It's horse country here in New Jersey. And then obviously the cities can really pass for whatever city you want to represent from around the world. New Jersey's got a city that can double as that city. And you can be in all these locations in a very short amount of time, which is very important for the production to be efficient, right? They don't have to travel hours and hours and hours to move their production to another location that could be vastly different, because you can be on the beach for a shoot, and then a few hours later be in the mountains for a shoot, and everything in between. And the infrastructure that's here, all of the companies that support the productions, like my company, Edge Auto, it's very important for the productions to have world-class support when they go on the road and they do the shoots from the various towns in New Jersey. They want to have the top-notch cameras and lighting and rental car companies, trailer companies, everything that they need to run that production. They don't want to use just everyday, not all the time do they want to use kind of everyday vendors. They want vendors that specialize in the industry that can be 24/7 support needs and do everything that they need to make that production work on very tight timelines and very tight budgets.
I'm so happy you brought up Edge, because that was going to be my next question, because the importance of jetting from point A to point B in a short amount of time, because that's your whole business. Tell us about that.
Sure. So Edge Auto, we just celebrated our 20th year anniversary.
Congratulations.
And we were in New York exclusively for 17 of those years. And then the last 3.5 years, we opened up a location in Newark, New Jersey. And we're really here because the film tax credit brought our clients to New Jersey. And we knew we wanted to be in New Jersey to support the growth of the industry here. So we've opened an office here, signed a long-term lease. We're hiring New Jersey employees. And we've really planted a flag here. I live in New Jersey. I live in Secaucus. So we're really committed to New Jersey. We want to make sure that we give something back and support the growth of the industry here. So Edge Auto Rental, we provide luxury SUVs for the stars when they go on location. They have to drive in class. The cast and the crew, they rent transit vans to get them around to locations. They might need box trucks for the lights, the cameras, props, everything else that you might need for the shoot. And then we're 24/7, which is very important. The director wants to do a shoot at dawn. Everyone's got to get up at 2, 3 in the morning to get to the shoot, to get hair and makeup and everything done. So they'll need to be able to call us at the wee hours of the morning if they need an extra vehicle or something happens, so they need some more support.
As if you weren't busy enough, you have a whole other day job. Tell us about your work with the Alliance.
Sure. Well, the Screen Alliance of New Jersey is a group of businesses, large and small, that have come together to support the growth of the film industry here in New Jersey. So on our board, you've got Netflix, NBC Universal, Teamsters 817, companies like Edge Auto, Emerald Green Trailers, large and small businesses that come together to kind of lobby in Trenton, support the tax credit, support other projects to make it more seamless for companies to come to New Jersey. We have our Film Expo every year to kind of promote the industry, and we have regular networking events and newsletters that we kind of make sure that people are aware of what's happening in the state.
Speaking of the Film Expo, I was so sad to miss it, but you had it at the Meadowlands Arena. I was so happy to see that building open for business. I didn't realize that a lot of productions still happen out of there. Concert scenes, sports scenes, and then of course your very successful event.
Yeah, well, it's a great host for our event. We love the people that run the arena. Great support from the unions that do all the work to make the expo happen. So could not be happier or more thankful for the team that's there. For any of our future expos, that'll be the first place that we look because of the support that we get there. The expo was a huge success. We had Governor Sherrill there. We had Lieutenant Governor Caldwell, a lot of other VIPs, both from the government side, industry heads and industry leaders. Really promoted the industry and showcased the infrastructure that is available here in New Jersey, so that the production companies that came to kind of see, like, what does New Jersey have to offer? They can see we have world-class production companies across really every element of the business. And that's really what the expo was designed to showcase.
You want someone to just pick up the phone and say, I need XYZ, ABC, and then it just gets done.
Yes.
Because you all are working together.
Exactly. We partner also with the New Jersey Film and Television Commission as well. They're really another reason why productions come to New Jersey that I feel I need to mention, because the productions come in and they need something, they need help with a particular town, or they need help with a permit, or they just need help with the tax credit or an application for the tax credit. They've got a tremendous resource with the Film Commission, super active, working with the towns to make them film ready. So if a town wants to be film ready, they enter into that program. They learn about what does it mean to have a production come to town, what are the pros and cons, and how do we manage that? How do we make our town attractive for the productions to come in, because it's good for the local businesses. They're going to the coffee shops and the dry cleaners and the restaurants and the hotels. They're they're hiring security teams from the local town. So it's fantastic for the businesses of the town, and it's good for New Jersey as well.
What were some of the conversations that came out of the expo?
That's a great question. I think one of the most important ones is where the risk for the future of the industry is today. I think people went into the day thinking maybe it was technology.
AI.
And AI might be a risk. And I think they left with more of a message that we're losing productions overseas. And the big risk to the industry is that if we continue to lose our ability to keep the filming here in the U.S., because our competitors are overseas and they have fantastic tax credits, and it's often cheaper for productions to go overseas than it is to stay in the U.S. to film. So that was a real topic that came up on several of the panels and was a topic of conversation. We're going to continue that conversation. What can we do to keep the filming here in the U.S.? Obviously, we want it in New Jersey, but we want New York and California and Georgia and all of our brother and sister states to do well as well. So we're not, there's a little competition between the states, but I think we need to focus on bringing the productions back to the U.S. And that was a real theme for the day in terms of what people were talking about.
Nick, this was so much fun. Thank you again, Fred Castrovinci, for bringing us together. Where can people find out more about both of your entities?
Sure. So the Screen Alliance is a great webpage, screenalliancenj.com, where you can learn more about the industry. You can see recent developments of the news. You can become a member, and we have information about networking events and other things that are happening in the industry that people are in the industry would want to go there, or if you want to get into the industry and learn more about it. Also, the Film Commission, I should mention, their webpage is a fantastic resource for people that are either in the industry or want to get involved in the industry. And of course, if you want to rent any vehicles, edgeautorental.com, not just for industry needs, but if you have any needs for rentals outside of the industry as well, that's the place to go.
Nick, thank you so much. This was so much fun, and I look forward to doing this again soon.
It was a blast. Thank you so much for having me.
At Your New Jersey, our mission has always been simple. Tell the stories that make New Jersey extraordinary. Each week, we bring viewers stories from across the Garden State. Stories of community, impact, history, and inspiration. Today, we're proud to share that those stories have been recognized by the 47th Annual Telly Awards. Leading the recognition is a Gold Telly Award for Your New Jersey, a year of community impact, in the television not-for-profit category. The program also earned a Silver Telly Award for Mental Health in Focus. Bronze Telly Awards were awarded to the New Jersey Hall of Fame Induction 2025 ceremony and a Legacy Under the Lights, Hanover Park football history. These honors reflect the incredible people, organizations, and communities that trust us to share their stories. Thank you to our viewers, our community partners, and the dedicated Your New Jersey team who help bring these stories to life each week. Thank you for joining me on another episode of Your New Jersey. I'm Marie Falbo. We'll see you back here next week.